I have Mercedes Martinez with me right now. She has a big match coming up this weekend. A lot to get into. Talk about Turning Point, facing Mickie James. Your run in Impact Wrestling. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
There's a bunch of stuff going on before we get to Turning Point. There's going to be some TV tapings, but you have a meet and greet set up for Sunday night. Fans will get a chance to meet you. But Turning Point, the title match, is the big thing for you this weekend. You get to face Mickie James for the title, and it's kind of a cool take that she actually just posted. She said she's counting down the days. 40 plus years of experience combined, not something you hear in women's wrestling very often. I thought that was nice because more often than not, or at least lately, you hear this argument that age is being used against female performers. She's using it as a selling point, showing that you guys have a lot to offer, knowledge, experience, your tenure. What are your thoughts on hearing her say that? And what are your thoughts on just, the challenge in general?
My thoughts on hearing that, and I seen the tweet, is I think it's great. I mean, we both have, both of us combined, it's about 40, 41 years combined of experience and talent in this business. We've seen it all in our careers. And, we want to make sure, and I think that's the point that she's trying to sell, is that it doesn't matter what our age is, that we can still go and we can still deliver. It's really the biggest thing. Experience talks. And, if we can still deliver in that ring and give everybody a great match and let everyone see what we still can deliver, then, it doesn't matter what our age is. And I think that's the whole, no pun intended, but yeah, that's the whole turning point of this whole thing is, you have two veterans in this business who's seen it all, who's been in companies, back and forth, and is now getting a chance to be pitted against one each other for the championship title, for the Knockouts World Championship title. And we're going to show the world that, experience does matter. Experience does talk. And, no matter what goes on in our careers, that this is the match that you want to see. You're going to see something different. You're going to see something entertaining and exciting. And just tune in to see what two veterans of this business who's seen it all and done it all are going to do to each other for one of the most coveted prizes in business.
You've been open, in addition to, what you just shared, you've been open to saying your work should speak for itself, no matter what age you are. What other steps do you think need to happen to kind of erase that stigma?
I think it really comes down to what your talent is, what you can bring to the table. They have companies across the board, whether it's 30 or 35, whatever age limit they want to put on us females. I don't understand why. I think you owe it to us female wrestlers to put this age limit on us. Why is there an age limit on us but not on the male wrestlers? What is so different from them that we cannot, what is so different between them and us that makes such an issue, that age is such an issue? You have the men competing way past their 40s and they're way better shape and they're just in their prime and they're just, kicking ass literally in that ring past the age limit for the females. And we can do the same. I think what has to happen is they have to look at us and just say, if you can still deliver and you can still go, then go. Do what you need to do. Do your job and do what you love to do. It's not really up to them to tell us what age it is for us to stop. I think it comes also down to that, yes, the younger talent is feistier. The younger talent may be more spontaneous. Maybe they're doing crazy stuff in the ring. Maybe that's what it is that they see. Maybe ratings go up. I'm not sure. I think it just really comes down to, well, maybe you need to put this younger talent with someone like a Mickie James or someone like a Mercedes, someone who's been in this business for a long time, and teach them and help elevate their game. Because you don't want to put these younger talent in a position that they're not ready for. And, us veterans in this business, whether we're 30, 35, or however long they want to stop the gap, I think we have a lot to offer fans and the audience, and just spontaneity. I think we can bring a different level of wrestling that people are not used to seeing anymore. Bring that old school with a new school flavor. We can mesh and adapt to any style. And I think, we it's up to us to tell you when we can stop. I think most of us in this business know when to stop. When our bodies can't go no more, our bodies can't go no more. And we can tell when, our careers are dwindling down. Don't let the companies tell us. And it's a really big issue. And I think it really needs to be brought into the forefront a lot more. Talent has to speak for itself. And we as females have to stick together, and we have to understand that, hey, no one should tell us what we can and can't do in that ring. No one should tell us that, we have to stop at the age of 30 or 35 or whatever gap that they want to put us there, because it should be the same across the board for males and females. It really should. And I don't never understood why they put in that gap. I really don't.
Yeah, and I think, something that you just mentioned, putting, veteran talent with some of these newer wrestlers, you just saw a perfect example of that on Impact Wrestling TV with Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo working together. They told an amazing story that wasn't, like, age came into it, but it wasn't like condescending. It was more about competition, and it was told the right way. And Mickie came out on top on the end, and she proved like she can still go. She's done interviews where she talked about what it meant to her personally. And I think people already wanted to say Deonna was the best wrestler out of anyone last year, and she was elevated even further by working with a name and somebody with as much experience as Mickie. So I definitely agree that there should be some more collaboration, if that's the right word to use, instead of this notion that now we're going to, push towards a youth movement and have all of these people that don't have the experience without somebody to learn that from.
Oh, definitely. I think that, I watched the Deonna and Mickie match, and it was a great storytelling. It was a match, is one of my favorite matches of Mickie right now. And Deonna, especially Deonna, who's been on a tear the last year, just proving everyone wrong and just really elevating her game. And the match with Mickie just really proved her worth. It really just cemented her as one of the best in this business. And sometimes you need a match like that. The younger generation and the younger talent, no matter how long you've been in this business, you will always elevate your game anytime you get in the ring with someone who has the experience and who can still go, because you want to be able to be adaptable. You want to be able to show the audience and the fans two different completely styles from different generations of this, of this sport, really. You got Mickie, who's been around 20 years or so, and then you got Deonna, who's probably been around maybe not even 10. You bring those two together and you're going to have an amazing match, because it's different mentalities, different styles, different ways of putting matches together. You're just going to mesh all those ideas together, and you're going to come out with something amazing, because you have someone leading and you have someone who knows what to do in high situation on TV and when the stakes are high and the pressure's on, and then you have someone who's willing to learn and be a sponge. And I think that match itself proved to everybody that, yeah, there's no problem with putting the generation with someone better, and it's not condescending at all whatsoever. It really isn't. I've always proved myself over and over again that we can level up the bar. We can always raise that bar up to another level every time we can raise another younger talent up. It's really just what we do. It's just the experience that we have. And if you can go, you can go. I just think that younger generation can learn from the experience in those high stakes situations from someone who's been in this business and done it over and over again and can help you. That's really what it is. We just want to elevate everybody.
Yeah. And, I also know that you have a match. It's a triple threat, but coming up, you're going to face Deonna and Thunder Rosa at WrestleCade, but you've already had singles matches with her when she was Knockouts champion. I know WrestlePro was one of the matches, but that having somebody on the roster like that, even though she's not the champion anymore, definitely has to give you something to look forward to. And perhaps not looking past Mickie, but just seeing like how many people on that level, despite not being in the business that long, like that just has to give you something to look forward to, right?
Definitely, definitely. Me wrestling Deanna, outside of Impact, has been a blessing. I mean, we've never really wrestled each other. I think I wrestled her early in her career when she was brand new, maybe not even a year in the business. And I was still making my name as well and still racking up, my name. And from seeing her back then to what she is now, it's amazing, her experience and what she actually brings to the table. I've always said that it's not a matter of how many years you're in the business. Yes, depends on what you've done in those years. You can't call yourself a veteran. You can't call yourself the best unless you put in the work. And Deanna has definitely put in the work, and she definitely, is proving herself time and time again that she's one of the top best female wrestlers out there. And working with her at WrestlePro and at 2CW, I think was our other match, just proves that, whether she's a champion or not, she's always going to carry herself as a high standard. And she's just one that will always level up the game. And just getting in the ring with her, me being as a veteran and me just being, I can learn from her as well, just as much as she can learn from me, because it's, again, bridging that gap of the new generation and the, older generation. It's just, we mesh so well. Everyone has to mesh together, and you just want to have a good match and you adapt. And Gianna is one of those females that can adapt to anything and everything that you put in front of her.
We'll have to wait and see when that match happens on Impact TV. I know you just got there, but how are you looking at this run with Impact Wrestling? Like, is this a long-term thing? Like, can you comment on how long you'll be around if you're under contract, or like how you're just looking at this in general as far as the next chapter in your career?
Oh man, the next chapter in my career. I mean, I'm having a blast at Impact. I would love to be there for the long term. But I just want to be everywhere, to be honest. I want to be able to wrestle anywhere I can wrestle, every promotion that's out there that wants me, because I want to make sure that fans can see me everywhere that they can, in those little dark, dingy places that, they don't get the wrestlers very often. I want to be there. I want to make sure that I am available to everybody. And Impact has been phenomenal to me. I have no complaints. They given me matches that I've never had so far, wrestling a Brandy Lauren, wrestling a Rachel Ellering, wrestling Tasha Steele, who I think is going to be a household name in the next couple of years. I really do. And I just think they have a phenomenal roster. They really do. And the roster is a lot of friends of mine that I've, been around in the business and in the independent scene. So it's really exciting to be there and think about all the matches that I can have. A match with a Savannah Evans, a match with a Jordan Grace, who I've wrestled, beforehand, but just for a bigger audience to see what we can do. It's just exciting, and hopefully it will come to fruition. I really do. Right now I'm just focused on my match with Mickie James and showing the world that two females can get in there and be gritty and show the no nonsense of what we put into this business. And, I'm looking forward to, beating her, actually. And cementing myself as a stable in this business for once.
Well, there you go. You beat her. You're the champion. You can be a traveling women's world champion. Put it on the marquee.
Just make sure that my new title. Yeah, and put that title. Make sure it's glimmering. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at if I'm going into turning point with Mickie James. I'm walking in with my head clear. I'm walking in, making sure that everything's on point, and I want to make sure that people are going to see a different side of Mercedes Martinez and expect the same, but expect me to level up against Mickie, because she's not a pushover. She's done it all in this business, and for me to beat her cements my legacy a little bit more, and it cements the fact that, hey, this is a goal that I want to reach. I want to be a champion in a promotion, in a outstanding promotion. And what better way to do that and get that first big title run and help level up the women's division and Impact, and do it against someone who's well respected like Mickie James, and take that division to another level with banger matches with anybody and everybody who wants to wrestle me. I have no issues wrestling the whole roster, for all I care. I really don't. I just want to put on matches when I can and cement and bring pride and morals and pride to that title. And it would definitely mean 10 times more to me to win it from Mickie than anybody else on that roster.
I have a couple more questions before I let you go. And
Yep.
the first one has to do with legacy. As I mentioned, you just got to Impact Wrestling. Your resume is growing as far as work you've done with the company, but is there one match that you've had there so far that you think best represents your work to this point? Maybe what people can expect if they haven't followed you from NXT or haven't seen you in Shimmer, or any of the promotions you've worked for over the years. Is there one that you would point out and you really think stood out more than the other?
Man, in my whole career? Man,
No,
that's a long
just
time.
like I'll narrow it down from the Impact matches because I'm sure there's
Gotcha.
many that we could sit here and pick from the entire library.
When it comes, yeah. When it comes to the impact, I think one that cements pretty much what I can bring to the table, and I know I'd mentioned it before in other places. It was the match with Rachel Ellering. I think she's very she's a talent that doesn't get the credit that she deserves, and I really do think that she has a lot to bring to the table. And our match at the Knockout Knocks Down tournament was a match that really showcased everything that I can offer. It can show, my technitionals, point of my chain wrestling, the power moves. It just had all the emotion and the drama in it, and we respected each other, and we went in there just with a lot of respect. But by the end of the match, it was just giving everything that we had, and that can pretty much let you know that, hey, we never wrestled each other before, but this was one of those matches that we wanted to showcase everything that we had. And my job was to make sure that I came out of that match with a lot more respect going in, and making sure that Rachel Ellering got the respect that she really, really deserves. And man, she put up one hell of a fight, I can tell you that. And I just can't wait to see big things happen with her. So that right there has been my favorite match so far at Impact. And that's the match that if you haven't seen me or heard of me before, you need to watch that match, because that's a storytelling match in its own right.
Absolutely. You check that out online. And my final question actually has to do with maybe what you are or aren't watching. I know I learned from the DNC interview that you did, you were a criminal justice major and an SVU fan. So I wanted to know, have you caught up on SVU, and are you watching Organized Crime, the spinoff?
I have not watched Organized Crime just yet. I'm waiting for a little break so I can binge watch it, to be honest. I don't want to get into something and then it takes up all my time, my free time. So when I get a little bit of a low break, which will be coming up soon, when I'm not traveling too crazy, is when I'm going to binge watch it for like 3 days.
All right, there you go.
But I heard great things I've heard great things on it, and I'm just like, man, I just can't wait. So we'll have to have like another interview, and I can tell you all about it and what I thought about it, because I'm looking forward to it. I just got to wait like another week or two.
There you go.
Beforehand.
I love it. I recommend it. After you win the title this weekend, take a break, go watch it. It's fun. Turning points this weekend. Mercedes Martinez challenges Mickie James for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship. You could check it out this weekend. And then, like I said, the meet and greet is Sunday. Good luck to you. Thanks for your time.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.